Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your channel of Math and Engineering Made Easy. Today we have our second session of polynomials, and this time we are going to see how we can multiply two polynomials together, whether they are binomials, trinomials, or one binomial and another trinomial, and then how we do that efficiently. Um, okay, so here I have a sheet that has 12 problems. So maybe you can do every other one. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Let's start with the first one. The first one is simple. It says when 2x minus 3 quantity square is subtracted from 5x squared. Be careful here, meaning we have 5x squared and then we subtract from it this guy. This is subtracted from that. Okay, minus 2x minus 3 squared. That means I have to evaluate 2x minus 3 squared, which is 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3, and then subtract it from this. So like what we do in regular multiplication, I'm going to multiply these two terms and those two terms, these two terms and those two terms. Or you can use like you can FOIL as you learned in school. FOIL meaning I multiply first by first, right? And then outer. So right there, it's usually, for those of you who haven't heard the term before, FOIL. The idea is you multiply all four terms, right? So first and first, that's what we do first. Doesn't have to be first, by the way, but it's somewhere. And then outer, meaning this is the outer, this is the outer, right? So this multiplication is 2. And then the inner, this and that is 3. And then the last is 4. It really doesn't matter whether you FOIL or you multiply them like that. You get negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. 2x by negative 3 is still negative 6x, so I write the x's under each other, and then 2x times 2x is 4x squared. So now this becomes 5x squared minus, and then between parentheses, I write 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. Notice I only subtract like terms. So 5x squared minus 4x squared is 1x squared or simply x squared. And then I distribute the negative. Negative times negative is positive 12x. Negative times positive is negative 9. So we had two things to do. First we square, then we subtract like we did last time. And you get x squared plus 12x minus 9, which is 3. Okay, let's go to number 14. We do the even numbers, and then if it didn't take long, we may take a couple of the odd numbers. Fred is given a rectangular piece of paper. It's always good practice to draw it. If the length of Fred's piece of paper is represented by 2x minus 6, and the width is represented by 3x minus 5, then the paper has a total area represented by what? We know the area of a rectangle is base times height. So basically here we are going to say, let's use the FOIL in this case. 3x minus 5 times 2x minus 6. FOIL, first times first is 6x squared. Outer, 3x by negative 6 is negative 18x. Inner, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10x. This is x, so I write it underneath it. Negative 5 times, then last, Negative 5 times negative 6 is positive 30. So I get 6x squared minus 28x plus 30, which is number 2. Okay, let's move to number 16. Write the expression 5x plus 4x squared times 2x plus 7 minus 6x squared minus 9x as a polynomial in standard form. So the highest power is written first. Now, before I can do anything, I have to multiply. I have a product of 4x squared. So basically, we are distributing the 4x squared. So we say this equals 5x plus 4 times 2 is 8, and x squared times x is x cubed. Remember from the exponents, we add the powers. 4x squared times 7, 4 times 7 is 28, x squared, minus 6x squared minus 9x. Now we combine like terms. The only cube I have is that, so 8x cubed, I don't do anything to it. The next higher is 28x squared and negative 6x squared. 28 minus 6 is 22, positive 22x squared. And finally, I have 5x minus 9x is negative 4x. That's how we do it. Okay? Do you have answers? No. So that's the answer. We don't have multiple choice here. Okay, number 18. Number 18, express 5x minus 3 times negative 2x plus 7 as a trinomial in standard form. So I can use the FOIL or I can multiply them on top of each other. It's up to you. We did 1 and 1, so let's do it back like that. Like we do regular multiplication. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. 7 times 5 is 35x. Negative 2x times negative 3. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 3 is 6x. So I write it underneath that. And negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And x times x is x squared. And this is positive. So you get negative 10x squared plus 41x minus 21. I told you once that when I was your age and we didn't have calculators, I usually, when I get something like that, to check my answer and make sure that I didn't do any errors of positives or negative, meaning adding or subtracting, I used to assume x is 10. Why 10? Because when you tell me 5x is 50, I don't need a calculator. But of course, in this case, it's not that easy. 5x is 50 minus 3 is 47 times negative 2x is negative 20. When you add 7 to negative 20, you get negative 13. So, oops, when I multiply them, I get negative 610. Does that give me negative 610? Let's see. I have negative 10 times 100, meaning negative 1,000, plus 41 times 10 is 410, minus 21. Nope, I did something wrong. That's how I catch my error. Did I multiply this correctly? Negative 1,000. Oh, I said it should be minus 21. No, it was correct. But that's how I check my answer. Negative 611, negative 611. So I know I knew I didn't do math error, but I typed it wrong as usual. It has to be something. Okay, so we did number 18 and we checked the answer. Let's go to number 20. Same thing. They tell you express 3x minus 4 times x plus 7 minus 1/4 x squared as a trinomial in standard form. So I'm going to multiply these first and then subtract that. We'll do it as FOIL. First, 3x squared. Outer, plus 21x. Inner, minus 4x. Last, minus 28. Minus a quarter x squared. 3x squared minus a quarter. 3 means 12 quarters, right? 12 over 4 minus 1 over 4 is 11 over 4x squared. 21 minus 4 is 17x minus 28. Again, I can check them using the same method. I say 3x is 30 minus 4 is 26. X is 10 plus 7 is 17. Minus a quarter of 100, meaning minus 25, right? I should get 417. Is that 417? Well, if x squared is 100 times 11 is 1100 over 4 plus 170, which is 17x, minus, not plus 28, 417. So I know I did it right. That's a quick trick to help you, check your answer. Let's do number 22 then. Determine the product of these two values and express them in standard form. And the product, since we did this using FOIL, I'm going to use the other method, 2x plus 3 times negative 6. Oh, we cannot use FOIL here because they are a trinomial times a binomial. Oh my God, how do I do that? Like you do regular multiplication. Again, negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. 5x times 3 is positive 15x. And 5x times 2x is 10x squared. Negative 6 times 3 is negative 18x squared. And negative 6 times 2 is negative 12x cubed. So the final answer is negative 12x cubed minus 8x squared plus 13x minus 3. Just for the sake of it, let's use my method. I call it my method because I don't think any rational person would do the crazy stuff I was doing as a kid. But anyways, 2x is 20 plus 3 is 23 times negative 6x squared. X squared is 100, so negative 600 plus 50 minus 1. My answer should be negative 12,673. Let's look at that. X cubed is 1,000, so negative 12,000, right? Minus 800. X is 10, x squared is 100 times 8 is, so minus 800. Plus 13x, x is 10, so plus 130 minus 3. Exactly. So I checked my answer. We did these 6 problems. Um, Still have time. I think this was short. So let's take maybe a couple more. Let's take the 13 and 15 since they are not like as straightforward as the rest. Or we can do 21 also. I think it looks nice. Okay, number 13. Which expression is not equivalent to negative 4x cubed plus x squared minus 6x plus 8? Okay, now the first thing I usually look at, all of them have a negative 4x cubed. X squared times negative 4x, x times negative 4x squared, negative 4x cubed explicit, and negative 4x cubed. So I cannot just look at the, what about the constant? This one has a positive 8. This one has a positive 8. Oh, but they made it hard on us. This one is wrong. No, it's also positive 8. This one is wrong. But anyway, is there a quicker way of doing it? Anyway, let's look at the first one. I think we have to do all until we get. So we distribute the x squared. You get negative 4x cubed plus x squared. And then you distribute the negative 2. So you get minus 6x and then plus 8. Oh, oh, so they say which one is not equivalent. The first one is equivalent. The second one, I distribute the x, so I get negative 4x cubed minus x squared plus 6x plus 8. It's not. So it should be that, right? Yeah, I already got it, so it's 2. There is no reason to check the rest since it's only, we know that's only one that doesn't equal that. Okay. Uh, I don't like these types of problems where you really don't do any calculations. Okay, so let's do 15. Number 15 says the length, the width, and the height of a rectangular box, meaning you have a rectangular prism like that. So the length is 2x, the width is 3x plus 1, and the height is 5x minus 6. When the volume is expressed as a polynomial in standard form, what is the coefficient of the second term, meaning of x cubed? Later, maybe, I'm sorry, yeah, we have x cubed. So what is the coefficient of x squared? Because we have an x cubed, x squared, x, and 1, or a constant. So basically, we have to multiply 2x by 3x plus 1 times 5x minus 6. So there is no reason to expand everything. Why? Because they didn't ask us to express it. He said when it is expressed in standard form, what is the coefficient of the second term? The coefficient of the second term is, let's call it whatever, bx squared. So what is b? Okay. Notice I have 2x multiplied by something. How do I get x squared? Is when the x outside is multiplied by an x inside. And how do I get x in the product? I either multiply a constant by x or an x by constant. So I can say what I'm looking for is 2x times 3x minus 6, which is negative 18x, and 1 times 5 is plus 5x. Meaning, that's the only way I can get x squared term. If I multiply the first by the first, it's x squared times x outside would be x cubed. If I multiply the constant by the constant, it's a constant times x would be x. The only way you can get, and you cannot get a constant here because everything is multiplied by x at the end. So in order to get the x squared coefficient, you need what is the x coefficient of this product because it's going to multiply by 2x. Okay, so this is 2x times negative 13x equals negative 26x squared So the answer is negative 26, which is 3. If you know how to do it this way, that's fine. Otherwise, most people would do the following. Say 3x plus 1 times 5x minus 6 is negative 6 minus 18x plus 5x plus 15x squared, which is, so I have 2x in the outside, remember, times 15x squared minus 13x minus 6 equals 30x cubed minus 26x squared minus 12x. And then they say, oh, the second term is negative 26. You don't have to multiply everything. Okay? It's not wrong, but you can save some time if you know what it means to find the coefficient of the second term. The last one I said we are going to do is number 21. Given A equals x plus 5, B equals x squared minus 18, evaluate A squared plus B equals what? If A equals x plus 5, then A squared would be x plus 5 times x plus 5, which is x squared plus 10x plus 25. For first and first, x squared. Out, 5x. In, another 5x. Last, 25. So I get a squared equals x squared plus 10x plus 25. B is x squared minus 18. So when I add them up, I get 2x squared plus 10x plus 7. They don't give us ways to do it, so I do it using my way. X plus 5 is 15. 15 squared is 225 because we want a squared. Plus 100 minus 18, which is 82. So when I add them, I get 307. Let's look. X squared is 100 times 2 is 200. X is 10 times 10 is 100. Plus 7, of course, you get 307. So we checked our work, and the rest is history. Okay? I hope this was easy for you to follow and understand. I have no doubt about it, but if you have any comments, if there is anything we did wrong or wasn't clear to you, please, again, don't ever hesitate to comment or send me a comment in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Wish you all the best. Hope to see you soon, and thanks for watching.